Mike's Daily Podcast.
I have never podcasted before. I don't know what I am supposed to do. Let's see. We're talking today about daily things. And my name's Mike, and it's a podcast. Mike's Daily Podcast, episode 1608, 1608. Today, we hear from Benita, the disgruntled fiddle player, the brewmaster, and we get to some things. Mike's Daily Podcast that are surrounding you, that are swirling around you in your world today you probably didn't know about. Mike's Daily Podcast. And I was listening to my podcast of Mike's Daily Podcast, kind of haze. I happening upon it, the topic, and that is, I saved the cups. Mike's Daily Podcast. That's right. I saved the cups from Sonic because they're thick. They're amazingly resilient. Mike's. I was looking at Daily the consistency podcast of their cups, and some fast food places, their cups, they lead you to believe that they're resilient, but they're not. These cups survive going through the dishwasher. They don't shrivel up. They are amazingly thick, so I save them. Now, I don't go to Sonic much because their shakes are like 3,000 calories, but they're oh so good. And have you ever gotten an Oreo cookie, peanut butter, chocolate shake? Oh my God. Hey, look who just walked in. Hi, Mark. It's Benita, the rodeo queen. Hi, how's doing? I have my horse Nelly.
And it's me, the disgruntled fiddle player. Tell you what.
What?
You drink really sissy shakes.
You can't say sissy anymore. That's not politically correct.
Well, I don't give a crap.
Look who else walked in.
Hello, Mike. I make the delicious root beer. I'm the brewmaster. Oh, boy.
Do you have a chocolate peanut butter Oreo cookie root beer?
Yeah, okay.
I know that's probably not the best idea for a root beer. Oh, they just put a picture of Barbara Bush on the screen. She was a first lady that was married for a long, long time to a president who was a one-term president. And there you go. I summed it up for you.
And here's today's podcast picture.
But there will be a funeral service for her on Saturday, and you can watch it on C-SPAN. The podcast picture today is not of Barbara Bush, or any of the Bushes for that matter, or of a Bush. It is Mike. And because
this show is about me, and it always has.
Actually, I should lie and say 2009, because I did start It all gets jumbled and garbled up in my head. It becomes a word salad in my brains. But that's what the guy talked about. I still can't think of. The point is, the guy can do great impressions. And the point is, Earthlink is a funny, Earthlink.net. It's not even a .com, it's a .net. And it goes way back.
You've got mail.
Hey, and that guy apparently did just that. He voiced just that one thing that says that.
You've got mail.
And now he drives an Uber. There's nothing wrong with driving an Uber. A friend of mine drives an Uber. She rents the Uber, drives it. I didn't even know. She was bringing me, every time I see her, she tells me about some new thing that I never knew about. And she says she's not tech savvy, but somehow, like, she told me about the app. I think it's called Picture This, where, have you ever looked at a plant and wondered what of the plant, and immediately tells you what it is, which is fantastic, because in the Bay Area, a lot of stuff grows, and you can find out, oh, what's this beautiful? And a lot of wildflowers now. Oh, it's so beautiful, the hillsides. They are alive with the sound of, and with the visuals of wildflowers everywhere you go. My mom does that. She doesn't say where, she goes, where. Now, English is not my mom's first language. German is. And then she learned French, and then she learned English. So somewhere in that, she got a where. When my dad is from America, was born in America, but he was telling me about when he first met my mom, and he goes, she didn't learn English first. That was like her third language. That's why and actually she learned English in England So she's got even that. She's got a British accent on top of a French accent on top of a German accent. So that's why your mom sounds like that, son. And I said, okay, Dad, thanks for the FYI. Hey, the point is, earthlink.net is cool. And I don't have one, and I don't think I want one. I'm a Gmail. So if you can email me at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com or go to the website mikesdailypodcast.com. And there's a phone number, too, 336-MM-DAILY. I answer that phone here. Phone is ringing now. Oh, here it is. It's ringing. See, not only ringing, it's buzzing, and it's singing.
Ring, 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 banana phone.
Here, let me answer it. Hello?
Hello, Mike. This is Blaine.
Who is this?
Blaine.
Bling?
No, it's Blaine.
Blaine?
No, it's Blast.
It's Blast?
Mike, it's Blair.
I can't through the phone that you are calling on. I can't really get your name.
Mike, it's very important that you get my name. Otherwise, we can't have
name.
My name is Tone.
Hello? Hello? Tone. Oh, there goes Tone. A-Tone. Tesla girls! Tesla girls! This is the part of the show where I start to just sing random songs. They're out of the door. The door just opened. And I look through the door, and the guy whose house this lawn belongs to, he's agreeing with him, sound effect, which sounds a little like this.
That's right, Jack.
But this guy, I don't know if I... Oh, yeah. They're not called smartphones. They're called slightly smartphones or dumb phones.
Less taxing on your data plan. They also tend to last for a week on a charge, not a day or less.
Yeah, do you remember when phones used to last?
You kind of need WhatsApp.
When they used to last for more than a day on a charge, they could last for a week. Remember that? People are like, you know what? I don't need all these stupid apps on my phone. I want the basics. I don't want Mark Zuckerberg tracking me. So they're going back to these old punching away on a keypad. So these actually have, the keypads. You remember the flip phones. Oh, but the way this guy ends this, what's his name? Oh, they don't put his name on the byline? That's not good. David Pierce. He's for the Wall Street Journal. Young guy, wears these awful sweaters. And I love his segments because he always films around the Embarcadero in San Francisco. Always films right around there, and every shot that he does where he's sitting there talking to the camera, I look behind him, I go, hey, I've been there. It's a really nice area of San Francisco. And I don't even know what he called those phones, but Alcatel looks like the maker of this one type of... Basically, he ends this segment going, there is nothing better than when you hang up on somebody when you have a flip phone and you smack it down. Let's see if we can catch him when he says that.
And honestly, is there a better way to hang up on somebody?
when you just snap it, is what I had to say about that. Finally, why is Donald not going to the Barbara Bush funeral? And Southwest is going to give $5,000 checks to passengers that were on that deadly engine failure flight. $5,000 checks. And that's all I have for you. Okay, that's going on in the world today. Have a great weekend. I'm just gonna... By the way, this is me on 9 hours of sleep. 9 hours! Got to bed at 7 last night. Couldn't believe it. And then I overslept. So, yay for me! I can take this over sleeping.